Hey guys, what's going on? What is going on? Street Trading here, coming at you again with another trade lesson video looking at a 15-minute chart of EXAS, Exact Sciences, healthcare sector. Let's get right into it. So, obviously, as you can see, it doesn't really take a rocket scientist to see these guys are under some pretty decent sized selling pressure for a few weeks now, since pretty much the last couple weeks of April session. These guys have been kind of falling off a cliff. The boards are definitely taking some profits and are exiting their positions. So literally, it's like that falling knife thing, right? What are you gonna, if you're gonna build into a position? If you're an institution, you want to build in a position where you can start to buy, right? If it starts to blow through key zones, what are you doing? You're waiting, guys, right? You're obviously more fuel to the fire. And going into this week's session, we had this on our weekly trade watch list for a continuation, and it did exactly what we had planned for it to do. Plan your trade, trade your plan, plan your trade, trade your plan. Cannot stress that enough. Guys, you can have a list of X amount of securities, right? Have plans for each and every one of them. If those plans do not come across your screens, you do not put on risk. You should not put on risk, all right? Your plan could be completely off. Great, all right? No one has a crystal ball. You can't see what's going to happen in the future. But if your plan starts to come into fruition right in front of you, and your screens are showing you what is happening in the market, you plan for this to happen in the market. These levels are getting anticipated. You've already planned for it to get breached. You're able to put on risk where you plan to put on risk. You scale in where you plan to scale in. You scale out where you plan to scale out. Systematic, guys. Systematic trading. That's what it's about. So these guys sold off, continued selling pressure, obviously even into the close. And obviously reached our first target, and we left a little bit on the table into the close. I mean, this was just one of those textbooks. On top of that, the market was bleeding. Right, it was the market kind of traded in the earlier half of the session pretty flat. Right, it was just kind of hanging out. SPY was hanging out pretty much at its open. Right, and then obviously it sped up to the close. And when you have obviously a trade to the downside and the market selling off, it just gives you that much more fuel power to obviously extract and kind of stay in the saddle. Market doesn't need to sell off for you to obviously extract short positions, but it definitely helps. Anyway, let's get into how we ended up trading this thing, where we trade this thing, why we trade this thing, and let's talk some details, guys. All right, let's get down to business.